Welcome back to episode 33 of FTB Infinity Evolved Expert Mode. And just to start off this episode, what did I have planned? Ah yes, emeralds. I have problems getting emeralds. I do have this villager up here, but regenerating his recipes and sorting him out every time. Yeah, I want something more automated. We're going to want lots of them, so let's get to it, shall we? Hopefully, again, the audio is correct in this episode. Cross my fingers. Let's start out with, yeah, let's make a few things. Sticks. I'm going to order 6 of them, and while we're at it, I'm also going to need some string. Again, 6 of that as well. Let's get rid of some of this other stuff. We're going to make a couple of bows and some dispensers. I know that sounds odd if we're going to get emeralds, but bear with me. There's a string. Sticks aren't ready yet. Fine. There they are. We get some redstone. A couple of. And I've got plenty of cobble in my inventory, so I'll just use that. So we're just going to make a couple of dispensers. You may have recognized the recipe before I got to it. If not, don't worry. Where's my redstone? There we go. So I want a couple of those. And we're going to be making a trade station. Because we're going to want villagers, so I'm going to need some steel and some emeralds, unfortunately. But steel I should have enough of. Yeah, and I think it's just 4. Soon I'm going to find out if it's not. Come along, give me 4. 4? There we go. Here we go. So let's put in the rolling machine. Hopefully that should make 4 for us. It looks like that's going to be the case, which is good. And if we're going to do that, then we're going to have the recipe. So 4 steel plates. In fact, I am going to need another 4 steel because I need 2 of these. Well, I need at least 1, but I'm going to take 2 just in case because I may want to do another thing with all the things. Don't worry, I'm going to cover that off very shortly. In fact, let's cover it now while we're just waiting for that steel. So this trade station basically lets you put it down in your villager and specify what recipe you want. So if the villager has that recipe, then you're going to be able to get the recipe as long as you leave enough inventory for the thing the villager wants, and then you're going to get back what the villager wants to give you. So since we already want the wheat recipe to emeralds, we can put this down near a villager, and if the villager has the wheat to the emeralds recipe, then we can get it. Sounds great. But we're going to need lots of villagers because the villager is going to not do that for very long. I want a glass pane, so let's just get 4 of those. Yeah, it's not going to do that very long. It's going to lock things out, and we don't really, when we're automating, we can't really do anything to automate that, so it's not going to get locked out. So if that's the case, we'll need another way of doing things. And you may well understand what I'm about to do, and you may well guess. Many of you have probably done it before. Let's see if you have guessed correctly. 2 trade stations. Okay. And I'm probably going to want some wheat. I'll do that later. And I didn't put elevators in. I really need to do those elevators. Horse. Don't kill yourself on the ender pearls. That thing never dies. So let's go all the way down here. All the way to the end. And I've set up a smeltery. And it's got emeralds in it, liquefied emeralds. Now I've been doing this manually so far. They'll come on to that in a second. Okay, turn off the hover mode. And in here I've got some power coming from our reactor over there. I've got an auto spawner, and that's fed by mob essence at the back. Obviously, I've not got a lot of it. Spawning's that copy no with a safari net with a villager inside. Now, I did first think, hey, can we use a powered spawner? So I crafted a powered spawner and got a soul file of a villager. Tried to combine it with a broken spawner to make it a broken spawner villager. And of course, it's blacklisted. You can't do that. So I need mob essence to actually start this thing running. So why not? If we're going to get mob essence, we're going to need mob essence, then I shut down the wither skeleton farmer for the moment and put some iron in here. and then turned it on. And of course, villagers dropped in and we started getting some liquefied emeralds. All good. But it's not automatic. And I like automation. So let's get on with automating it a little bit, shall we? Hopefully I've got everything I need. Let's just turn the villager back on. The villager spawner. And get rid of this manual faucet. Get rid of you. And while I'm at it, I think I'll just put these 2 trade stations down somewhere. Oh, I can already hear them in there. Yeah, so there's the liquefied emeralds building up as the villagers go to the happy place that they yes, okay. So the trade stations, you specify the recipe and you can get that in here. I need to remember exactly which one it is. I can never remember, so I will probably figure that off camera. But, I'm getting iron ores now. We first need to figure out emeralds. So what I can do is grab, put more drains on this, grab this, and put a temperate fluid duct on, and a servo. Okay, so first of all, we're going to click so the emeralds at the bottom. Go to here and then change it so just for a second. So I've got some emeralds in here. I'm going to need at least 1,000 millibuckets. So let's turn it on again. Back off. Yeah. So grab a bucket, grab yourself some emeralds, and then we're going to get rid of this whole thing, really. So on this side now, we then want to do the same thing, the temperate fluid duct. Servo. But this time, we can just go in here and then set a whitelist only to, there it is. So set that. So now this will only pull emeralds out. But there's a complication. It can only pull the bottom thing out. So if we turn this on, it'll look fine. If there's always some emerald in there, it's fine, but we can't make it so there's always some emerald in there. Because now, the blood's at the bottom, the molten iron's at the bottom. The emerald's building up. Now I can always click it and then it will go straight out, but that, again, that's not automated. So I'm probably going to look at something similar, but where we can pump out, and we can just put this back. That. I'm going to look at something similar for iron. So I'm going to need to pump it out and then pump it back in and cyclically do that. I may need some sort of timer. I've made a redstone clock. I'm not sure that's going to do it though, but so let's just put this back in. And where's the servo? I'll leave that in input only mode and then we'll turn it on. Back off. So we've got some iron, so we can get that again with a filter so that this side only ever pumps iron out of the smeltery. Okay, this thing here is a bit of a consequence of Thorncraft being in here. Villagers seem to like dropping gold coins, and it's going to block the whole smeltery again if gold coins end up being smelted in there, because again they will need to be pumped out. So again, I did something manual, but I will probably set up something automatic for that as well when the next bit of gold is in there. I'll need to keep doing it manually until I've got enough gold. Well, I suppose I could... You know what? I had a sneaky thought, and when I say sneaky, I mean really rather obvious thought in hindsight. You may be screaming at the screen, but let's just use gold to smelt the villagers. That should solve the problem. I'm just going to get enough for it to be significant in the fluid ducts. Although hot fluid ducts, I should probably use something else other than temperate. I should probably use, I don't know, have we got any other fluid duct? Yeah, hardened. Let's just get 2 of those. And we need to make some more fluid duct, I think. Yeah, so there's our gold, and we should get our fluid duct. It's not going to be in there permanently, you know, so that's one thing, but it's just worth at least probably upgrading this. So let's just for a second get rid of these and put this in, and our servo, and put our gold in place. Gold. And I'm going to need to make sure this fuel gets refilled, otherwise the whole thing's going to stop. But other than that, I'm then going to need to empty out this, aren't I? I'm not sure if there's any way to actually destructively edit these, but I've got some iron. I can put it in another smelter and just use this one. Glad I made two. They're only 4 glass and a piece of copper. They're only really there temporarily as filters, so that's all straightforward. So we've got gold now, and I can ignore and pump out some gold, put that back, grab, okay, let's just put this down somewhere. Get rid of my bucket. Well, I've got another bucket, but there we go. Grab this, put this back in, and now this should only work with that. So, yeah. I want to also pump it back into, this is another drain block at the bottom, but I only want to pump it back in every so often. What's going to happen is if I put this, let's say here, it'll work, but I just wonder whether it will, it needs a sustained redstone signal rather than a single redstone clock tick. Unless I have a small enough amount of gold perhaps, but it needs to cycle so that the emerald's always at the bottom. Let's just order another server, and I just want to test this out. I can gravity feed this, but I'd rather just see if I can block it with the servo. And put that in there. Like that. If I switch this, will it go back in? Yeah, it will. Okay. That keeps going around in a circle, which is fine, but... See what's going to happen? I think it's going to block, because this isn't going to get all pulled out and then all put it back in. It's just going to get, it's just going to be pulled in a circle. It's being pumped back in too fast, basically, which is something that we definitely do not want. So it's fine if I do that. And will the redstone clock change that? No, it won't. Right, so I need some kind of buffer tank that isn't going to automatically pump out like this, which should work fine, I think, for this one. As long as it's in, yeah, as long as this tank is in input mode, I can control it that way. But even if I put it here, turn it on, you'll see that pulse is not terribly amazing. Is it? Oh no, that may be enough to cycle, you know, because it's all being pumped out. That buffer tank is just enough to make this work, maybe. Except that the villagers inside are not getting exposed to that much gold. So I may need some way of delaying that. And I suppose I could use our offering hourglass to only do this every so often, which is, that's a possibility. So I could well do that. I'm just going to grab the one from our Botania setup, and we'll see if that works. And while I'm travelling, any ideas, any comments about what you've seen so far? There's more to build on it this episode. Don't worry, it's not just what you've seen so far. But I just thought give you guys a chance to see if you've got an improved setup. Do you have a better way of getting emeralds? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll see what we can do on that one. So there we've got the offering hourglass, and let's just replace this for a second, and we've got 5, so every 5 seconds. Is that enough, maybe? Yeah, it almost needs to be the other way around, actually. Or maybe needs to be at the top, so it only pumps out every so often. Maybe if we require this to be low. I may not even need the hang glider anymore. Yeah, doesn't matter where it is. So that's going to continually pump unless It's going to stop pumping. Is that what I want, or is it the other way around? Okay, so there's the ingots of gold. And it's not really... Yeah, you see, I'm going to need to pump out for longer than that. So I'll play around with these a little bit. I'm not going to cover that too much in this episode because it's fine as it is. It just will jam. I won't be able to get the emeralds out, which I'll sort out. Not much of an issue. So, while we're at it, what else did we want to do? Okay, so trade stations. If there's stuff in there that... I'm going to want the emerald recipe. And... I want to know exactly how much I think the wheat recipe is going to come in here. Wheat, just give me 20, and an emerald, just give me 1. And I've only got 14 emeralds, by the way, because I did it manually. I was down to almost nothing, so just bear that in mind. I don't have plenty of emeralds. I want hundreds of the things, if not more, so just bear that one in mind. There we go. So I wanted the trade station to just spot when we've got a particular recipe. So let's just put you in here. And I can't remember how many it is. Is it 18? We can go and check with the villager upstairs. And yeah, I think that's how you set it up. We can go and check the villager. Ah, I need elevators. Where's the villager? This way. Yeah, indeed. 18 is the recipe we want, so let's just grab you again. We no longer need that guy. Let's just leave him in there, and while we're here, let's just grab some wheat so we can put it back down there. That's the first stage. However, there is another recipe I'm almost sure to get XP out of villagers. It's like an XP orb or XP bottles or something like that from emeralds, I think. And if we can do that and get enough emeralds running into this system, then I'm hoping those XP orbs are going to be good enough return to convert it straight back into mob essence to get even more villagers, to get even more mob essence. But again, because I don't know whether that's going to work, I just thought I'd set this going. So trade station, that's fine. I'm going to probably want the emerald recipe here. I don't know how many emeralds it is though for the XP. I'm probably going to need to find that recipe and which villager it is and stuff like that. So I'll do that off camera. But as it is, we've got a system for pulling emeralds out and getting 9 at a time using this. You can do them 1 at a time by using a casting table, and you can cast an emerald, a gem, using the aluminium brass, and then it will pump out 1 gem at a time. So all that I need to do later is just make sure I've got a similar system to, you know, these, where I've got, well, I don't need crafting because I'm not going to do that, so maybe just an extractor from the bottom of this should be just fine. I've got a pipe right here, so I can do that off camera. So that's pretty much set up, and we should pretty much get as many emeralds as we need once I've sorted out this, and I'm going to do that now so I can figure out the best setup. So here's the thing. After some time, and I've put a trading post here. If you don't know what a trading post is, well, helps if I turn this on. Maybe if I turn this on. In addition to these, the trading post lets us see all the exchanges from all the villages nearby, and lets us get to any one of them. And that helps when you've got about 50 of these villagers all going ha in your ear. So here we can get into any of these, like this wheat to emerald recipe, and it will take us to the villager interface in question. However, yeah, well, I don't need that anymore. Why? Well, let's just kill them for a second. I've been watching out for villagers and for recipes that I actually would like. They should be dead soon. Yeah, they're dead. So I've been looking out for recipes I want. So wool to emerald seems like a decent idea. Sheep farm will, or yeah, wool farm if you like, will get us emeralds. Emerald to redstone, so we can get redstone whenever we want. Emerald to glowstone, we can get glowstone wherever we want. They're all just inside safari nets. Gold to emerald. emerald to gas tiers, and then a few more just down here. So gold coins to XP bottles, 20 silicon to emerald, and emerald to XP bottles, which is the one I actually want at the moment. So what I did was I swapped in, currently in here, there's a villager. Spawn exact copy no gets us random villagers, but if I change that to yes, it's going to get us the wheat to emerald villager. And I've turned it off. I've turned off my exchange, probably because it's just quite spammy. But if we go in here, let me just demonstrate the concept and tell it to give me some wheat. In fact, give me 7 stacks or so. They should fit my inventory. That's fine, as long as it gets to me. So I could put a supply logistics tube on that trade station over there with another one pulling out only specific things. So there we go. We got all the wheat. So not that one. It's this one. Regular villager. And it's 18, I think, on this particular villager. Ugh. Ah, good. It's programmed well. So yes, we can say anytime you see this deal, then exchange wheat for emeralds. And because this thing is in spawn exact copy mode, we should get the deals we actually want whenever it spawns. So let's see what happens. Where are we? There we are. And this one I actually want, I think it's 20 on that one. That's a different villager entirely though. So I'd have to have multiple auto spawners or a system to pull the villagers in and push them out, that kind of thing, which is perhaps a later on sort of thing with computer craft or some other way of doing it. So here they are. Has it exchanged them? Yes, it has. So we've got 6 emeralds. And then, of course, we can then melt that down. We don't have to recycle that recipe. The next one will pop in. So let's just have a look at recycling that for a second. Because what I actually want to do is remove this and remove this and then just melt 1 nugget to make it small enough so that when I put a timer on this thing, it will take out all the contents of what's in there. That is hardened fluid duct, so I'm going to need another hardened fluid duct, or just move, yeah, I can just move this. It's going to take a bit of setup again, but that's not an issue. Let's sort that out. And yes, I could just put them back into the same drain. I just prefer something a little bit different, so let's just grab that for a second. And you'll see there's only 1 nugget in here now. That's also a drain, so let's make that face front as well. There we go. So hardened fluid duct this way, and then servo doesn't really matter what type, but let's just put this gold down for a second. Put you there, grab the buckets. I'm going to need that to say the only thing I want this to actually pull out is gold, thank you very much, and I want it to need high signal to do so. So right now, it's not going to do anything. And that emerald is just going to keep building it up with spawn exact copy, and we're going to keep getting emeralds here as long as I keep supplying it with wheat, which is pretty cool. However, what I could also do is get it to supply these. And with that in mind, I'm just going to go up here. There we go. And I'm going to want to servo out. And this is going to go all the way over here. If I can actually get into a 1x1 space. Let me just put my Devnil on. Item duct, and let's just send the pipe this way. Nearly done. Just step outside. There we go. So that then will then feed back to our drain system. And yes, those of you who are going to be commenting with things like, you can just create a cursed earth spawner and get lots of mob essence that way. Yes, I can, and that is probably going to be coming as well. But, you know, while we've got villagers and while we've got spare emeralds, I may well want to do this. Oh, it's going to move all of them. That's annoying. Okay, so just whitelist these. Can I put them back in this container, I wonder? And will it pull them out, more importantly? No, it probably won't. Okay, so let's just try and insert them here without it throwing them at me. There we go. So because I'm around, it's causing a few issues with those orbs trying to get to me, but it's just throwing the bottles of enchanting out that we can trade through straight from wheat, basically. And I can just disable at any time I don't want that to actually happen. In fact, that needs to be enabled all the time. I could have probably tested it. I'm not sure if it's actually going to work, but we'll see. Okay, so all the XP orb there are going into the sewer. That's generating a fair amount of excess. Well, it's excess so far. Well, that turns into excess up here, something else. We'll see on that front. And it's pretty much used. It's pretty much used all available wheat. So I just need to route the wheat into there from the system, and I'm not going to do that on camera. And yeah, I did remove that vacuum hopper, by the way. So what I'm actually going to do is just go a bit further than that and just block that up. So it's just going to go straight down. There's no chance of missing it then. And that should be sorted. Okay, so we've got that thing going, and oh, actually no, I have not finished yet. Yeah, because this isn't actually pulling out emeralds automatically. It's stuck behind the molten gold. So, and what I can do with this one actually is pipe the emeralds from one into the other. But I can sort that out off, you know, after the episode or something. No real need to do that. So I'm going to place down a timer. And that's the wrong way around. And I need to change the time interval. So I'm every 22 seconds or so. And I'm going to need to turn this around. Oops, wrong thing. Screwdriver. There we go. So every 22 seconds it should pull the gold nugget out and push it back in. Let's see if that happens. Yeah, so all the emerald left it and it got into our container. So as long as you have a very small amount of gold, and that's the other reason why I actually did this down here, to extract any gold coins. So I didn't want gold coins to do anymore because it would build up the amount of gold. So that's just something to bear in mind that you're probably going to want. And to be honest, this item duct is not terribly fast, neither is the servo. So if you get a lot of villagers at once, if you're not going to have this system, or if you're going to have this quite slow, then do bear in mind you may want to upgrade the piping down there, because it won't be able to pull the coins out before you end up with it won't be able to pull the coins out before they end up building up your gold store or iron or whatever you want to actually put in there. So for now, manually, whenever we want something else, or if I have, you know, lots of emeralds available, I can get gas tears out of there, I can get glowstone, which is a lot of the nether kind of stuff dealt with, to be honest. The glowstone is kind of cool. But for now, I think we'll just let it build up a certain amount of emeralds, and to do that we just need to feed it wheat, which I can probably do. Now, do I have a supply logistics pipe spare? Supplier. Supplier logistics pipe. Probably don't, but that's just 2 lapis and a basic, so why not? Basic and 2 lapis. Okay, should get the lapis any second. I'm probably going to need some gold pipe, which I've got on me. I've got 3. Yeah, maybe get another basic, actually, just in case there's junction needed. And there's our lapis. And hopefully there should be some wheat left. So we're going to go down straight below this. Yeah. And see if we can get this. Yeah, there's going to be a junction, isn't there? That's annoying. But understandable. Let's see if that basic thing's done yet. Yeah, it didn't pop into my inventory, so probably... There it is. Always remember to place a junction. Otherwise you get issues. So let's make sure you're a junction there. And then we're going to pull some gold pipe off that. Not there. Oh, ah! There we go. 2, and the third one will be the supply logistics pipe. And if we get some wheat, I'm going to take the silicon out for now and just say wheat. Where's my thing? And then I'm just going to say, in fact, I want a full stack, but bulk 100. It's probably already requesting this, so we should get this soon if I can get a full stack in there. And that should be sorted. In fact, we should be able to see it coming if that's working. Are you going to work? Bulk 100. Actually, infinite should be fine. Just go for full. Here it comes. So, can we get a full stack out of that? Probably not. But you get the idea. You can just put whatever you want in here. It would be really nice if that actually would let me just put in 52. No, you're not going to do that. Never mind. That should be enough anyway for each villager. And we'll go from there. Just close this back up. And we're sorted. And I can just put, obviously, item ducts in here. If I want this to go into XP bottles, which will turn around and spawn the villagers faster. Eventually, it should build up in excess. But in order to get this second one working, I'll then need another auto spawner, which I'm not going to do just yet. And we're fine otherwise. So I think that's pretty much infinite emeralds. I've got a wheat farm I disabled previously, but I can turn it back on now. We've got everything going that we need for as many emeralds as we actually want. So what do we need for emeralds? Quite a lot of stuff. Emerald chipsets were the one I kept getting annoyed by, but there are lots and lots of recipes in here that require it, including a lot of the RF tool stuff, which, in fact, I wonder, can I close out the episode? Oh, we're running a little bit over time, but all I wanted to do is get rid of this. Look at it, it's just full. And yes, I could probably maybe see if there's a slightly larger chest. I'm not sure if there is. I want the default route to be a little bit better. And the way we can do that, I think, is with modular storage. Modular storage? Yeah. It's an RF tools block, but requires a machine frame, an RF tools machine frame, which requires a resonant machine frame, which I think is not done yet. Oh, actually, maybe it is. It is. Okay. Those are just visual bugs. Okay. So maybe we do get that sorted now. So modular storage is a lot like an ME chest, I guess, except that it's it doesn't have drives. Oh, well, it does have drives. So yeah, I guess it is a lot like ME. It only has one slot though available, so we need to get a few things. Just 10 stone or 8. Let's get rid of that. And what was the rest of the recipe? Nether quartz, redstone, and a chest. So 1 chest. Hopefully I got some nether quartz. Yeah, I didn't see any villagers offering that for trade. Or I didn't actually look. More to the point, so maybe I should look more often. So we may have to get another source of that. But yeah, there's Botania, and Botania will let us do that as well. So we don't have to worry about it too much. There's our stone. There's our resonant. Expensive recipe. And then we just need the nether quartz. chest, which I already have one here, so I just forgot about that. And that makes us the modular storage block. We do, however, need one more thing, and that is the... it's the drive type itself, and I can never remember what it actually, what it's actually called. There's 3 of them. And there's lots of RF tools items, as you can see. There we are, storage module tier 3, which needs a tier 2, which needs a tier 1. Okay, so little bits of stuff. So nether quartz, a couple of gold nuggets, iron, a couple of gold nuggets, nether quartz, of which I'm running quickly out of. And what was the rest? For 1 redstone and a chest. So I guess a good thing I actually have an extra chest. There we go. So iron needs to go in the middle. Can I remember the... I can never remember recipes. I am utterly terrible at it. 1 of you. Let's just move you. Put you either side. And give me 1. Oh, in fact, I've got 1 redstone. That will do. So that's a module storage 1. We want the number 2, which is this is where I'm going to route nether quartz and another chest. So fine, let's just make 2 chests. Another more nether quartz. Get rid of you. That actually does need to be a chest. Number 2, just 2 pieces of gold. But we're going to need blocks of gold for the next one, so 2 pieces of gold, and then it's going to be 18 for number 3. Redstone block of quartz. Yeah, I'm going to need some more. I will probably complete that next episode, but I'll show you the concept anyway. I'll just need to upgrade it and get another one. Wait for the chest to come in. There we go. 1, 2. And I'll just put storage tier 2. So it stores 200 stacks of stuff. So let's just for a second grab the dolly. Move this out of the way. Put our storage module or modular storage in there. And then put in this into wherever the slot goes. Shift click. It's just my texture pack that makes it seem a little weird. Texture shown with icons, list view, columns, icons will do it, sort on name, don't show groups, compact equal stacks. Okay, so now I should be able to just throw stuff into it, so let's just grab a few things. And yeah, I'll do this automatically with the hopper or something along those lines. But you'll now see that I'm this is basically like 200 stack chest at the moment, but 300 soon enough. And yeah, just a nicer replacement. Of course, we can search for stuff as well, but that's just like it's like an ME chest basically. And hopefully that's an indication of how full it is. So yeah, is it better than this? I don't know, but it's kind of a nice alternative if you're already used to chests. And yes, we could do exactly the same thing with each one of these. The only downside being it needs a resonant machine frame. Decide for yourself. Let me know what you think. Infinite emeralds and a bit better storage. What can you ask for in an episode? See you next time.